I was deeply saddened and outraged by the explosion at the hospital in Gaza yesterday. And based on what I've seen, it appears as though it was done by the other team, not you. But there's a lot of people out there not sure. So we've got to overcome a lot of things.
19 seconds filled with empty words. As an analyst, I found what Joe Biden said here interesting because this short statement is filled with vagueness, ambiguity and manipulation. Let me show you what I mean.
I was deeply saddened and outraged by the explosion at the hospital in Gaza yesterday.
Already in the first sentence we can find at least two instances of vagueness. First, we note that Biden avoids directly attributing blame or specifying the responsible party for the explosion. He could have said, "I was deeply saddened and outraged by Hamas blowing up the hospital," for example, but he didn't. Second, he talks about an explosion, while from what I can see, it's pretty clear that the cause of the explosion was a rocket. Not naming the rocket as cause adds another layer of rhetorical distance between Biden and him having to attribute blame or responsibility to one party or another.
And based on what I've seen, it appears as though it was done by the other team, not you.
That's a very interesting sentence, and for a number of reasons. Let's start with, "and based on what I have seen." This phrase is not only what we call a hedge, but it also allows for plausible deniability. Let me explain. When Biden says, "and based on what I have seen," he indicates that there might be other things that he has not yet seen. It's as if Biden is saying, "I've seen some things, but I can't give you all the details or evidence, so it's open to different interpretations." This kind of statement is used to avoid taking a clear and definite position. This phrase serves Biden as a form of plausible deniability because it suggests that Biden's statement is contingent upon the information that has been provided to him by his staff. By framing it in this way, he creates a buffer against potential criticism should later on irrefutable evidence appear that contradicts what he just said. The question that I would ask at this point is, why does Biden feel the need for plausible deniability?
It appears as though it was done by the other team.
Appears? That's the keyword here. It's another hedge, the second one in this sentence. It's a linguistic escape hedge. It's as if Biden is saying, "Hey, I'm not entirely sure, but it kinda looks like someone else might be to blame, not you." Now let's look at
The other team.
This one really stuck out to me because you would not expect Biden to use the word team in this context. The word team is an unusual and relatively friendly term to use when discussing a serious incident like an explosion of this magnitude. In this context, it's a euphemistic and indirect way to refer to the responsible party. The word team downplays the severity of the situation and softens the language used to describe those who may or may not have caused the explosion. The question to you, again, is why do you think does Biden feel the need to downplay the severity of this tragic event? And let's not forget that the term "the other team" is of course non-specific. Biden does not tell us who he thinks the other team really is. And then there is "not you."
The other team, not you.
In statement analysis, we always look for words that could have been avoided by the speaker but are not, because there's always a reason why the speaker is including them. So, question to you, why do you think does Biden feel the need to state the obvious? Why does he explicitly emphasize that Israel didn't do it? And then Biden says,
But there's a lot of people out there not sure.
But there's a lot of people out there who are not sure. People are not sure. Well, that's another euphemism in this context. Remember, he just said that the other team did it, not you. But a lot of people seemingly are not sure that you, Netanyahu, or Israel did not do it. I think there are quite a number of people out there who are pretty sure who did it. But this statement makes more sense when we consider what comes next.
So we've got to overcome a lot of things.
False starts or spontaneous corrections are always interesting in statement analysis because they can give you a glimpse into the subconscious thought process of the speaker. In this instance, Biden corrects himself just in time to avoid saying what he really wanted to say. Instead, he substitutes it with yet another vague and essentially ambiguous phrase. Biden does not share what the things are that have to be overcome. He does not mention how this should be achieved, and most importantly, he leaves it open what the outcome should be. I can only infer from the previous sentence that the aim of overcoming a lot of things is to make sure that Israel is not blamed for the attacks on the Al-Ahli Arab hospital in Gaza. And lastly, let's not forget Biden's body language. Did you notice that for the first 7 seconds of this segment, he keeps looking down on the notes in his hands?
I was deeply saddened and outraged by the explosion at the hospital in Gaza yesterday. And based on what I've seen,
he starts to slowly look up, but still not facing Netanyahu when he says,
and based on what I've seen, it appears as though it was done by the other team.
But interestingly, when he says, not you, his head and eyes make a distinct and pronounced downturn. Watch for yourself.
Not you.
This is interesting because if we speak and we address someone directly, like in not you, we instinctively tend to direct our gaze, if not our whole body, towards that person. So something is not congruent here. What Biden says does not match his nonverbal communication. For an analyst, these kinds of signals are always red flags. Okay, but I'll leave it at that, and I hope you found what I told you useful. If you did, consider liking and subscribing. It costs you nothing and helps this channel. Thank you for watching.